So I discovered that I did a mistake earlier today. Hi, whenever you come across this video, don't forget to drop a message, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like. I did a mistake earlier and I had to like I'm doing this again. So I did had to do this live again. I think I did. I so I just this time around I just want to do a recap of what I said so that I deleted the live so I'm doing this all over again. Jesus, this kind of heartbreaking that I had to delete that live and start again. I don't know why. I mean, so I wanted to put this out there. I remember that at the beginning of that live, we had a little deviation talking to Catherine about where she asked that she just turned 18 and she needed some advice. And I remember talking to her about this period of her life, how she needs to be very intentional, how she needs to make sure that she make the most of this period of her life so that she doesn't live with regrets. I mean, everyone look back at their life and one of the things they wish they could change was when they were younger. If they could go back, they would change when they were younger. And so I was telling her to live with purpose, to discover her purpose, to live for God, and then to surround herself with the right people, create impact, live a life of focus, create a better version of herself because she'll not always have that time. And then today, I generally just wanted to talk about how to recognize how not to lose your money to scammers in 2025. I discovered that a lot of persons lost their money. A lot of persons had to fall into Ponzi schemes. A lot of people had to lose their money, hard in money to some scammers, some wrong investments, and all of that. So earlier today, I shared how you shouldn't lose your money this year, how you shouldn't how not to lose your money, how to recognize the wrong scams. I mean, wrong. Did I say wrong? Wrong investments and the rest. I mean, today's live was actually inspired by a conversation I was having earlier with my husband. We're talking about how people have had to lose their money a lot to scammers, to wrong investments, and all of that. And I remember saying that I'm so glad that I've never had to lose my money to any investment. I mean, not investment to any scammer or anything. If you're just joining the live, please don't forget to drop a comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe and share. So I'm doing this video to just share again, because this is something that a lot of persons, I've had a lot of people share with me how they lost their money, how they were. Thank you so much. Hi, John. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you so much. Thank you, John. So I'm just sharing about a conversation I was having earlier about how people. Hi, Rav. Thank you so much. If you don't forget to drop a comment so that I would know, and don't forget, if you have a question, please feel free to ask me. I'm just talking about this life was inspired by a conversation I was having earlier about how some persons had lost their money to scammers, and how you shouldn't lose your money that way this year. I mean, money is hard to get. Do you know how hard we work for money, and then you lose it to someone, and then you lose it to thank you so much. So we are talking about how not to lose your money in 2025, and how to recognize wrong investments. You know, one of the things I used to say is that when you ask all of the questions, when you are able to ask all the right questions, when you are able to say, you're able to ask questions, by the time you are done asking questions, it's so sad. So, do I watch football? Do I watch football? I don't watch football that much. I don't even know much about football. I think yesterday, someone yesterday I made a comment on Facebook. I was talking about who is what I was mentioning some names. I don't do so much about football, but I'm trying to learn more about football right now. Oh, Abraham, you watch football. I'm trying to learn, because I'm someone who I feel that I should be able to hold conversations in different fields, whether I'm interested or not. So I want to be intentional about watching football. So what's your favorite team? What's your favorite soccer team? Me, I don't know. I used to hear Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, um Real Madrid, what else? Barcelona, Liverpool. I know the names, but I don't I know the names, but I don't know who they are. I don't know. I used to hear Messi, Ronaldo. Oh, I don't even know that, Raf. So maybe now, because of this conversation, I'm just going to be very intentional about learning about football. Let me see. I'm just going to be intentional about it so that I can have conversations. I discovered that men are very happy when they are watching football. They are able to strike conversations. They look very happy. They are very excited when they are talking about their teams. Even when their team, same way they will get sad if their team um, loses a match. So I think I would try to know. I would try to read more, watch more matches. Sincerely, I think I prefer to watch live matches. When I mean live, like go to the stadium and just sit down and watch. I used to play football. I used to play football when I know you would not believe that. I used to play football in secondary school and even primary school. My dad used to make jokes. He used to say that, Esther, if you were very serious with your football career, by now we would have been signing your we would have been signing on your t-shirts, we would have been signing on your jersey. He was like, you were very good. Why didn't you pursue that career? Now I'm also a good athlete. I run a lot. I run very well. But I've stopped also. I don't know why I stopped. Few days ago, two ladies saw me walking, and they were like, Esther, your legs looks like someone that runs a lot. And I'm like, yes, I used to run. I used to win races. And they're like, how did you stop? Why did you stop? You should run. You should start running again. So maybe I need to revive my sports career. But right now, I have a lot to do and I feel like I'm too busy. Maybe I would like dedicate a little amount of time. So yeah, so that was a very good detour. That was a very good deviation and distraction. So back to our interesting conversation. Um, we talked about asking questions. Do you know when you keep asking so many questions, it's hard for you to fall into some of those scams. It's hard for you to begin to see the red flags in an investment. You see the loopholes. Imagine asking all of the questions. This, that, why are we doing this? Why is this? You ask all the whys. How? Why? What? By the time you keep asking all of the questions, I would go after the life. I would go to the field. There's a stadium close by. I would go to the field to run after the life. I would go and run 1,500 meters. I would go and run so that I can sweat it out and be more healthy. So, back to what we're saying. I was like, when you ask every question, generally, I feel like when you ask so much questions, you are able to recognize loopholes. You are able to know what to do and if you should do them. Questions brings about clarity. You are able to see things. You are able to recognize every loophole. Someone is trying to sell something to you. Is trying to make you part money. Don't just agree. Ask them all of the questions. By the time you keep asking the questions, you see some of them stammering, you see some of them fidgeting, you see some of them unable to answer those questions. You would be able to recognize all of the loopholes and red flags why you shouldn't invest in such. And if you still go ahead, it seems you are to be blamed. So ask questions. And also don't believe in all this quick money, quick cash. I feel there's no free money. Somebody say wants to give you quick money, free money, 2 days, you invest 500 in 5 days. In 5 days, you get 1 million. It's not possible. It's not true. Don't be selfish. Don't approach investment with selfishness or greed, because if you do that, it will be easy for somebody to scam you. When you're approaching everything, you want to quick money, you want to make quick money, you want to make quick cash, you want to blow up immediately. I don't feel it's that easy to make money quick. Like, all money just come quickly. So when you're able to ask these questions, when you're able to approach investments with, you don't approach investments and even with a greedy and selfish mindset, you would not fall easily for scams. You will not fall easily for wrong investment. Somebody cannot tell you that I put 200, I got 500, after I got 1,000 after 2 days and after 3 days. And you know what these people do? They bait people. Like, there was this viral video, that people had to do, a viral video where someone was sitting in front of a gate and he put a small snack under the gate. He threw it under, and then the person threw more snacks, and then he threw more, and then the person threw more, and then he threw money and other things, and then the person threw a lot, and then he packed all of the money he had and threw it, and then the person locked the gate and he lost all his money. That's how most people lost their money in investment, in Ponzi schemes and the rest. They promise, they start by baiting you little. They put a small amount. Some of them, I feel that some of these Ponzi scheme and scamming investments, some of them start the scheme with a little amount of money to be able to catch people or bait people into the system. They would tell you, you would put a little amount of money, you would get out of it, and then after a period of time, you would put again, you will get, and then the next time you decide to lump in your money, you will see that they would have closed. It's like a cycle that keeps rolling. They steal from Peter to pay Paul. And since it's a cycle, there's a point where the cycle will stop rolling. And when the cycle stop rolling, people at the end of the cycle would lose their money. It crashes and the people run away because they've made all of their money. So anybody promising you a high return on investment, 20%, 30, 50, it's not possible. What are they doing? What are they selling? Why? So some of those ridiculous return on investment are red flags. And you still stop looking for quick money like that. Also, stop giving sensitive information over the phone. Someone calls you and they say they are from your bank. They want you to mention a code on your social card, security card number. You should send it to them. Please don't give such information over the phone. Let them meet them at the bank. I remember when a scammer called my mom over the phone and told her that, oh, they're calling from her bank. She needs to tell them a particular number from her ATM card and blah, blah, blah. She told them, I would meet you at the bank on Monday. If you're really from my bank, we'll see you at the bank. And then they try to bait her and send money. We sent an amount, we are from your bank. We are trying to, there's a mistake on your account. And it said, whatever mistake it is, I would meet you. I'll come to the bank on Monday and then we'll sort it out. They tried to convince her. She refused and said, let's meet at the bank. And of course, she went to the bank, reported at the bank, asked them, and they said I didn't call her. They were from the bank. If she was not very sensitive, she would have given them the details of her bank and they would have cleared out her accounts. So, and also you don't need to answer yes on the phone. Some of these people will make you answer yes and then they will clear your account and then you can't even pursue it. So stop giving out certain sensitive information about you over the phone. If anybody's your service provider, your bank, they call you to say, okay, send us this information, tell them I would come to the bank to provide the details. Even if it's an emergency, I would come. Don't give it to them over the phone. Most of the people calling over the phone are not from you. They are not from your bank. They're not from your service provider. They're just scammers trying to steal your money. Also, be careful about the kind of details you leave on your the kind of site you put your card details. Sometimes that's another thing they view to scam some people of their money. They put certain card details online. They use it to purchase something and then they forget to delete their card details and then the information was saved on the browser and then used to scam them. There was something that I learned from someone where you just have an empty card that you use for purchases online. You only transfer money for purchasing something. You don't use the card where all your money, all your funds are. You just dedicate a particular card and then you use it to make purchases. Anytime you want to buy something online, you only use that card for purchases. That's the only one you put online, so that it's a safer way of doing it. So that your card details are not saved on sites that they would use to scam you of your hard-earned money. I mean, money is hard to get. Nobody should scam you of your hard-earned money. Because it seems there's a growing number of scams. And it seems every day they are multiplying and it seems every day they are improving on their strategies. They are trying to use different methods to get you of your hard-earned money. So you need to try to be like 20 steps ahead of them. Like you don't have to leave your details online. You need to be sensitive and careful about the kind of details you are leaving online. You shouldn't leave certain details online. Some of your details should not be. You shouldn't leave some of your details online. You shouldn't just be posting your phone numbers online, posting some of your sensitive details online on social media. You should be very protective of your information. And then, I was having a conversation, and one of the things we were talking about, I was like, someone who is promising you return on investments of how many percent, someone who was saying, if you invest in this thing, if you put money here, you're going to get this money You look at them and they don't look like somebody that have that kind of money. They look like someone that's even looking for money to survive. And then you're convincing me to put money into something that you cannot recognize. I remember someone who used to come to try to convince my mom to invest in something. And I would look at the person. You can't even afford some things. You are just broke and you're telling me you are promising someone millions. You don't even have even 1,000. These are things you can use to recognize that somebody is just trying to use you to get rich. And also, it doesn't matter who they use. It doesn't matter who is trying to convince you, because these days they've gotten creative that they can use influencers, they can use celebrities. And some of these celebrities and influencers just want to make money. So whoever is ready to pay their rate, they don't care. They don't even try to do any checks. They don't even try to like filter who is giving them money to do adverts. They just want to make money, so they just accept any money given to them. Anybody tells them, oh, I want to invest, I want you to do an advert for me. There are some persons that I used to see some people come to insult some celebrities for making them to invest wrongly, for making them to fall into certain scams. Some of the celebrities and influencers, they are just after their own money. They just want to make money. They don't even check any of the people that they are doing adverts for. So don't fall into it. There are some persons. There was a recent scam that was going round, and guess the people that was using. People were using their relatives. People were using their friends and families. And it was a very big scam. Someone almost dragged someone I knew, and it was a friend. So it doesn't matter who is trying to convince you. Also, what track records do they have? The people trying to convince you, the company, the organization. You will see that these people, they have a pattern. They just come suddenly from nowhere and they're trying to convince you to invest. They don't have any track record. They haven't even been here up to 5 months. One crashed recently, a Ponzi scheme crashed recently, and it was just in a few months they were able to scam people of so much money. They were just here for a few months. They were just around for a few months. They were just in that particular country for a few months. And what do? They didn't have any track record. They just came suddenly. So one of the things to recognize is that these people they don't have any track record. There are no informations about them. There's nothing about them. There are no records. They don't have any history of doing this thing and succeeding at it. They just come and convince you from nowhere. Check the track records. Do they have do they have any track records? I'm not saying that business or investments don't come with risk, but you shouldn't be wasting your money to scammers. There are some investments that are not worth it. There are some that actually people just coming you of your hard-earned money. You shouldn't fall for that in 2025. Money is hard to make. If you must invest you should make research yourself. You should ask all of the questions. Take your time. Don't just part with your money because someone is trying to make you invest into them. Someone is trying to crowdfund for their frivolous lifestyle, for their luxurious lifestyle, and they want to just use you. They want to crowdfund they want to collect from Paul, collect from Peter, collect from James, and then use it to fund their lifestyle. Even if you must invest in anything, ask questions. What are they selling? How do they intend to pay you? Are they banks? Are they connected to any banks? What are they doing? How long have they been here? Do they have a track record? You should ask all of the questions. Don't just fall for it because someone is saying you are going to make, and don't approach any investment with a quick a desire to make quick money. Investment doesn't happen like that. Investment is not something that you invest today and you are getting it tomorrow. It takes time. Don't approach it with as a quick fix to get quick money. It's not even something you put your daily money. Some people put their daily money, some even put school fees, some put some students put their school fees, some put their pocket money. They'll be like, oh, it will mature in 1 week. That's not how investments work. Investment, most times you put money that you don't even intend to use for a period of time. And so don't just invest in anything. Make researches, ask questions, take your time. It's not something you rush into. I mean, and a large amount of money is about to go down. You don't rush into it, and you do it small. You invest little by little, not at once with a large sum of money, and then you're like, oh, I lost all of my money. It's something you ask questions, you make researches for yourself, you check things, you do it little by little. You don't rush into it. Investment is not something you rush into. Money is hard to make. You don't have to lose so much money. Start asking all of the right questions. Start doing researches for yourself. Somebody wants you to invest in an agricultural product or an agricultural or a farm or something, and the person is not factoring the risk and is telling you he wants to pay you 20 return on investment, when we know that there's so much risk that you can lose a lot, and then this person promising you don't even know. I feel like some of the people that started coming, that some of their investments became like scam and became almost fraudulent. Some of them may not have started like that. They started it with being ignorant of what is obtainable in the field. I mean, some people started calculating just profit without calculating the risks involved in the business. They started just advertising without calculating the risk involved in business. So many things involved. I mean, they tell you, oh, if you just do this, they just keep multiplying the profits without the capital, without the period of the growing phase. They just look at the end phase, and then they promise a lot of people, oh, you are going to do this. People who are really into this thing will not promise you that because they know it's not possible. Somebody just go there and times and kinds and calculate the profits and tell you it's possible. It's a lie. So it's 2020, it's 2025, not 2020. Why am I saying 2020? 2020 sounds so sweet. It's 2025, and you shouldn't lose money. You shouldn't lose your money. Money is hard to make. Please don't lose so much anymore. So I hope you were able to learn something from this live. Please don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell me what you would like me to talk about. Is there something you are particularly interested in? Is there a topic you like me to speak about? Do you have a question? Is there anything you're interested in? I remember when we came on this live earlier, Catherine came on the live and she was asking me a question about something as a teenager. What would you do as a teenager? What's the advice to a teen and all of that? And then and then I remember Ralph came on the live and he was asking me about my football team. And you know that question he asked me, funny enough, earlier today, I had already had the plan that I would start reading and watching football. I'll start knowing about it intentionally so that I can start having conversations about it, because I see that a lot of my friends they do soccer and they like football a lot. So I need to start thinking like them. I need to start knowing why they're always talking about Arsenal and Real Madrid and Chelsea and Man City. I need to start knowing why they're talking about them. I need to start knowing why they're always quarreling and having banters. I need to know what I need to. I feel men get excited a lot when they're talking about football. So maybe I want to share that excitement too. I want to get into that distance. So please don't forget to let me know what you would like me to talk about. Don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment. And thank you so much for joining this live. I'll see you in my next live. I don't know when it will be, but if you notice, I'm beginning to come on live more often. than before. Maybe I would keep maybe I'll keep doing it. I don't know. Thank you so much for joining and enjoy the rest of your day.